Blackburn actually chaired the hearing in Judiciary that Senator Blackburn took part in. And Mr. Ritchie, thank you for being here. I remember that well because we had trouble getting artists that wanted to come forward. We found a guy, Clyde Lawrence of the band Lawrence. And what I remember most is that he ended up being a great witness, but he kept turning to the person behind him, and everyone on TV thought it was his lawyer. It was his saxophone player. That hearing,
I have the same lawyer present.
there you go.
None.
But it made a difference because we gathered evidence that we gave to the Justice Department and with Senator Lee. And what we found out at that hearing was that Live Nation Ticketmaster size is unbelievable. No company should have 80% of ticket sales at major concert venues, own 40% of the top 50 amphitheaters in the U.S. and control 60% of promotion revenue. We also discussed many of the issues that you've talked about today, about the bots and about what's happening in the resale market. And I've been frustrated. While some things have improved and we've appreciated the companies worked with us on some of these, but it just continues to be a problem. Mr. Berry, I'd start with you. Why does breaking up Live Nation Ticketmaster help?
Thank you, Senator, for the question. I believe this case that faces the entire nation right now will answer the question of whether or not a monopoly can be held accountable and do better or run roughshod over our government and the market. Simply put, in terms of specifics, there's been this conversation around exclusive contracts and venues. We agree a venue should be able to decide. A venue should be able to decide, but not extorted into making a decision, because that affects the downstream effects. In the world of ticketing, one of the greatest examples, and it's in the amended complaint, Senator, had to do with the Ticketmaster SafeTix technology. It was announced as anti-fraud and counterfeit technology. The way it's being used is to foreclose competitors and abuse fans. It abuses a fan after the fact when months down the line, because they don't deliver tickets when you buy them, you pay for it, and you get them 6 months later, where they disappear, they get canceled. Worse yet, you leave fans with legitimate tickets outside of venues not able to get in because their tickets have been taken back by Ticketmaster.
Thank you, thank you. Sure. Mr. Weingarten, as an independent owner, could you talk about, for a concert venue, how this issue, this anti-competitive practices affect independent venues?
Well, when you've got one company that controls that much, and it's not just the amount of money that they have, they've got a significant amount of leverage managing artists. They've got all or nothing ticketing deals, touring deals that won't allow for any other plays unless they're in these venues, and these are multi-million dollar deals. If you're radiusing out any other sort of like play within a market or close by.
Radius clauses that you're talking about.
Radius clauses, that's correct. Those make, and if I'm like sort of a known promoter that has brought an artist up for a while, and I want to be, and I want to continue to work with that act, and put them in maybe a larger space, they wouldn't be renting to me.
Right.
The list goes on, and they're a behemoth for sure, and it makes things very difficult for independent promoters.
Thanks also for focusing on some of the deceptive practices. That bill that Senator Cornyn and I did, the Fans First Act, some of those provisions are in in the Ticket Act.
Yes, thank you.
Mr. Wall, as we look at advancing some of this legislation, but also as we look at what's happening with that case, and I believe you got to let the Justice Department do their job. I know that Live Nation has hired a number of lobbyists. That always happens, but Trump-aligned lobbyists to apply pressure to overrule the antitrust division and settle the case. The former Deputy Assistant AG for Antitrust, Robert Alford, someone I've called as a witness in Judiciary several times, appointed and subsequently fired by this administration, warned about these lobbyists' influence over the case. Would you agree that the Justice Department's antitrust lawsuit should be resolved based on the law and the facts and not political pressure?
100%, and I expect that to be resolved in our favor. One thing I wanted to tell you, Senator Klobuchar, because you brought it up, is that in that lawsuit, in the ticketing market that isn't gerrymandered, but simply takes the full range of opportunities in large concert venues, our share is actually under 50%. So that's the government economist's number, not ours. So I think that you should take some comfort in that.
Okay, Mr. Ritchie, I have a feeling you don't take comfort in that, but
Well, I was just going to add, I know no one likes a tattle, but from what my sources tell me, you might want to ask Mr. Wall, is that my friend President Trump, the Live Nation has also hired a couple of his friends, Rick Grinnell and Kellyanne Conway. That says a lot right there.
Okay,
so,
Senator.
okay, on that note, but could I just ask one last question on the subject here of just what you think the effect is on smaller bands, not ones that fill the whole
smaller
arenas
bands?
like you of a monopoly?
The smaller bands, I mean, if you get popular as a smaller band, it's almost the same problem. You're just selling out a smaller venue, no tickets, and they get jacked up in prices, and all the same things still happen.
All right, thank you very much.